What's up, amigos? It's the Prodigy Maker Minute with yours truly, Chris Lewitt. As you may know, I'm the former number one for Cornell University, pro circuit player, elite junior development coach, and author and educator, author of The Secrets of Spanish Tennis and the Tennis Technique Bible. I was talking to a student of mine about how she's not playing strong opponents. She's not practicing with strong enough opponents, and she's not competing against strong enough opponents. And I mentioned to her that this is a very common challenge that all players face, whether you're a junior player or an adult player, on how to improve your level and get to the next level and hopefully higher and higher levels of tennis. But it's a big mistake to always practice with players of your same level because, as the great Pato Alvarez says, if you continue to practice with players of your same level, you will stay at their same level. And I really truly believe that. I'd like people to understand that. So whether you're a junior and you're a 5 or 6 UTR, or you're an aspiring college player and you're a 10, 11, 12 UTR, like a higher level junior, if you always practice with players your level, you will stay at the same level as those players. So in a way, if you can imagine uh, a group of players always practicing together, if they're a similar ability, they'll probably rise at the same rate. So this is like an SAT problem. Like all the players will rise in, let's say, UTR at a similar rate. But what I'm trying to do, and what many parents want, and what you assume most players want, is to rise at a faster rate than your peers. So it's fine if you're an if you're the elite of the elite and you're a couple years ahead of your peers and you're just practicing with other elites, then that's not such a bad situation because you'll rise at a good rate, reasonable rate, and because you're so far ahead already, you should be able to maintain your gap between players who are a bit behind. So this is good situation for, say, like precocious kids who are ahead of where you'd expect them to be, like kids who are playing up a couple age divisions, kids who are really advanced for their age. They could practice with other really advanced players, and while those players too would get better at a similar rate, as a group, they'd be way ahead of the rest of the pack. But let's say you're lower in the pack. Let's say you're behind in the race. You know, I have lots of players who come to me who maybe they lost a few years from bad training, or they had an injury, or they're just not achieving the results that they want. And they're trying to improve at a faster rate than the rest of the pack because they want to catch up. You know, I see it like a race around a track. And you're not going to improve at a faster rate if you're always playing with players of your same level. So you'll improve at a rate, but it won't be a faster rate than your peers per se. So I see it kind of like an SAT math problem. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. But if you, let's say let's say you're a 5 UTR and you really want to get to that 7 UTR level. You have some players who you're trying to beat who are like 7 or 7.5. And if you just keep practicing with like 5s and 6s, that's a problem. Like you're going to improve along with the other 5s and 6s, but the 7 and 7.5, he or she is also training with players higher, and that group is improving too. So there's no way you're going to like catch that group without doing something special or something different. And so what Pato Alvarez says, and many other coaches, including myself, is I try to get my players to challenge up, to play against higher level, higher UTR players every week. It could be a coach who's a really good sparring partner, or it could be a local player who you have to pay some cash to. A lot of times you have to throw down some cash to get higher level players to hit with you. And some parents don't want to do that. Some kids feel uncomfortable about that. But that's really the only way to juice your improvement. Otherwise, you're going to improve at a steady rate, and you're not going to catch the players who are presumably ahead of you, you know, for whatever reason that they're ahead. Maybe you started late. You know, sometimes I have players who come into the game late and they want to catch up to some of the kids who are more advanced. And you're just not going to do that practicing with your peers all the time. So it's okay to practice with the same level sometimes, but don't make the mistake of practicing always with the same people, same level. And it's a real common pitfall that people fall into because, like, let's say, take adults, they love to practice with like friends, people they're familiar with, and juniors too. Like, people, like, they get in their comfort zone, they get in their rhythm, and they always practice with the same type of people. And that's convenient and that's comfortable, but it's not conducive to the fastest possible development. You need to challenge yourself. You need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to compete and practice with players who are above you. But see, those players are trying to practice with players above them. So this, like, this game that where everyone's playing, everyone's trying to practice with better and better players so that they can improve at a faster rate. And so at the end of the day, you're probably going to have to throw down some cash to get some of those better players to be willing to play with you or your son or daughter. And it's totally worth it because your rate of improvement will be faster. If you like this Prodigy Maker Minute, please check out my big show, The Prodigy Maker Show. Also, please subscribe. We have a lot of people who love the show and who are not subscribing, and we need subscribers to grow this community of tennis learners. Thank you, guys. See you on the next program.